me with this. Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my fail. Robert. Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my fail. Robert. 30 years of my career. Y'all trying. I gave y'all 30 years of my fail. Killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my fail. Robert. 30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly pause the interview to give Kelly a moment.
Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me. Y'all trying to kill me. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me. Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my fail. Robert. 30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly pause the interview to give Kelly a moment.
Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me. Y'all trying to kill me. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with enemy man. Trying to kill me. Trying to kill me. Trying to kill me. You don't want to believe it. Trying to kill me. Trying to kill me. Trying to kill me.
I hope this camera keep going.
Stupid party. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my fail. Robert. Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my fail. Robert. 30 years of my career. Y'all trying. I gave y'all 30 years of my fail. Killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my fail. Robert. 30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly pause the interview to give Kelly a moment.
Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me. Y'all trying to kill me. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me. Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my fail. Robert. 30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly pause the interview to give Kelly a moment.
Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me. Y'all trying to kill me. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with enemy man. Trying to kill me. Trying to kill me. Trying to kill me. You don't want to believe it. Trying to kill me. Trying to kill me. Trying to kill me.
I hope this camera keep going.
Stupid party. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my fail. Robert. Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my fail. Robert. 30 years of my career. Y'all trying. I gave y'all 30 years of my fail. Killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my fail. Robert. 30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly pause the interview to give Kelly a moment.
Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me. Y'all trying to kill me. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me. Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my fail. Robert. 30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly pause the interview to give Kelly a moment.
Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me. Y'all trying to kill me. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with enemy man. Trying to kill me. Trying to kill me. Trying to kill me. You don't want to believe it. Trying to kill me. Trying to kill me.
believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly pause the interview to give Kelly a moment.
Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my career.
Robert.
30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me.
Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly pause the interview to give Kelly a moment.
Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me. Y'all trying to kill me. Y'all killing me with this. 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 Trying to kill me. Trying to kill me. Trying to kill me. You don't want to believe it. Trying to kill me. Trying to kill me. Trying to kill me.
I hope this camera keep going. Stupid.
Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my career.
Robert.
Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my career.
Robert.
30 years of my career. Y'all trying. I gave y'all 30 years of my career. Killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my career.
Robert.
30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me.
Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly pause the interview to give Kelly a moment.
Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me. Y'all trying to kill me. Y'all killing me with this. Y'all killing me. Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my career.
Robert.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got to talk about this. We got to talk about why I keep on hearing black man ain't shit. We got to talk about this. I can't ignore this. This would not be tough love if we did not talk about the tough shit. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know what this is, you should know this. Who this is. This is Mario J, and this is Tough Love. I don't know what you're doing right now. You might be at work right now. You might be on the toilet right now. You might be driving, and you were listening to the Isley Brothers' new goddamn song. I don't care. I'm about to get into this right now. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, women are saying that black men ain't shit. Do you believe them? Let's get straight to the goddamn point right now. Do you believe them? I don't care if you're a white person, a Chinese, a Hispanic person, Oriental person. I don't care. Do you believe that black men ain't shit? Now, here's the thing, right? That little clip, you know what I'm saying? Even though it was poking holes or whatever case may be, you know, ha ha he and all that great shit. What it really was doing, it was outlining different men that have met some type of controversy throughout their career, whether it was politics, whether it was entertainment, whether it was celebrity status, whether it was rapping, whatever it was, they've met some type of controversy during their time. Right, you had your Derrick Jacksons, your Kevin Samuels, you had your Tommy Sotomayors, you had your Bill Cosby, your Quavos, you had your Little Nas X, you had your R. Kellys, the T.I.s. The list goes on and on of black men that have been involved in foolery, fuckery, and shenanigans. But is that enough to say that black men ain't shit? Now, we know that everybody goes through their trials and tribulations. We know that no sex is perfect, whether man or woman. But I keep on seeing commentary, especially about from these three women in the middle. Tanya TKO, Cynthia G, Nosy Ho. That's their name. I didn't name them. They named themselves. And just collectively with these three women, they have promoted the conversation that black men are not being providers, black men are not being protectors, and black men are not being role models. And I wanted to ask you guys, do you know any role models? Do you know any black men that are in the community that are being good fathers? Because let's be real. I'm about to piss somebody off. Let's be real. We know we've heard all the languages. We heard all of the negative, you know what I'm saying, verbiage going towards men. You're deadbeat. You're a deadbeat. Huh? You're dusty. You can't be faithful. You're not a leader. You're not a king. You're not a provider. You're not a protector. And you're damn sure not a role model. Are these women right? So now my next question jumps on, well, I'm curious. Do you know any good black men? Do you know any men that are in a community? Do you know any good fathers? Do you know any good role models? Do you know any good protectors? Do you know any providers? Because when you say men ain't shit, well, do you have examples of men being something? And I find it very interesting that a lot of the narratives that I hear, a lot of the rhetoric that I see being pushed about men, no matter how prominent they are, no matter how big or small a platform, how if they're an A-lister, B-lister, C-lister, or D-lister, whatever their political views are, I notice that the conversation seems to always come from a certain type of person. A certain type of person. Now, we're not throwing, I'm about to piss somebody off. This ain't about throwing shots. God damn it. This is about being realistic. So here's my thing. There are some men out there that don't give two shits about their kids. There are some men out there that are womanizers, that are abusers, that are alcoholics, that are addicted to drugs, that are profound criminals. But, however, there are some men out there that actually work on building their community, that love their children, that love their family, that pride themselves on being in a monogamous relationship, that pride themselves on speaking with balance. So I wouldn't let a few bad apples spoil the bunch. But it seems like we don't never talk about the few, we talk about the many. We address the many. We don't individualize problems. We collectively attack the problem. Well, if we say all men, or we say men in general, then we'll just cover our bases. Now, we talked about the Derrick Jacksons. We talked about the Kevin Samuels. We've analyzed the right and wrong, the fair and partial, the nonsense, the fuckery, the foolery. And now we're getting down to the nitty gritty. Are men just bad people? Are men just bad people? Let me do my pleasantries real quick. Shout out to everybody on Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, on YouTube that's rocking with me right now. If you can hear my voice, make sure that you run over to YouTube, subscribe to the Tough Love family. It is not only one page, but two of them things. Both of them. I was about to say all three of them. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button and you hit that bell for notifications so you know when we're having a serious conversation. Let me get back. I'm about to piss somebody off. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a lot of shenanigans running around. Yes, shenanigans. Black men ain't shit. And this is a narrative that's being pushed to the young and old. No matter what, if it's a Fortune 500 company, if it's a mom and pop store, if it's a beauty salon, it's being pushed around that black men are failing to live up to their greatness, failing to promote their responsibilities, failure to be men, that they are behind white men, they are behind Oriental men, they are behind Hispanic men. And I'm just curious about, are there no black men that you consider to be leaders? I mean, we have the Nature Boys, we have the Tommies, the Kevins, the T.I.s, the R. Kellys, the Quavos, the Bill Cosbys, the Motries, the Little Nas X, and the Derrick Jaxn. Again, the list goes on and on of men who have platforms, men who have sought a certain status, achieved said status, and now we're asking, well, are they really something? Let me question your credentials. Let me question how many marriages you've been in, how many girlfriends you have, how many kids you have, how much child support you owe, what's your criminal background. Hell, it's like it's like completing a resume to be a black man. Somebody said earlier when I posted a video, and it was just basically the small clip that I showed. And shout out to that person who left the comment, was like, we need to talk about solutions. We need to talk about, black men taking their rightful place and the fact that black men don't have good role models. Wait a minute. Wait, I'm about to piss somebody off. Don't have role models? Is that true, ladies and gentlemen? Who are black men looking up to? Now, there's a lot of finger pointing at single mothers who are raising children, and we're not even just talking about in the projects. We're saying that men are not in the homes to help raise the children. So now the responsibility falls on the custodial parent in the household. That's a little unfair, though. But the question is there a amount of bitterness? Is there an amount of vindictiveness? Is there an amount of sabotage going on? Or is there an amount of not really giving your child what they need? So now your child grows up, okay? Let's set the tone right quick. Let's set the tone for you guys. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. But I really want to set the tone for this conversation. Let's say that you have a mother who has a son. She's a single parent. The father is not around for whatever reason. Okay, right? Everybody knows that story, right? Father's not around. Mother is doing the best she can, trying to give her son all of the standards and morals to become a productive citizen, right? So the mom is giving the son, boundaries, responsibilities, duties, an objective, trying to push the son to be better. But for some reason, a mom doesn't know what it means to be a man. So the mom then says, I need to put my son in programs like, Big Brothers to bring an uncle around, maybe even a boyfriend, someone to help groom this young man. But then you bring somebody around that's a womanizer, addicted to drugs, a criminal, someone who's never really had a good relationship, someone that's a thug, drug dealer. And your son begins to now take on traits that you wouldn't normally say, well, that's a gentleman. The son tends to now believe that, making money is the most important thing of all. Making sure no one disrespects him or else is the most important thing of all. And we all know what that leads to. Murders, incarceration, certain things, certain things. So here's the thing where I kind of get a little crazy, right? I kind of get a little crazy with this. I'm trying to find out, do you feel that men have role models growing up? I mean, we can go all the way back to, I like that, Kimberly. Okay, Kimberly, okay. And this is not to place the blame on the mom. We talking, hypothetically, but I want to paint a narrative for you guys because I think that we've missed the mark on some things, especially when we say men ain't shit, right? I'm trying to ask right now, do you guys believe that young men have role models provided for them growing up? That they are taught how to be productive citizens. They are taught how to be respectful men. They are taught about being in great relationships and how to be providers, protectors, and role models. Y'all just don't hear what I'm saying. I'm about to piss Let's get into the real conversation. Let's get into the real conversation. See, a lot of people think that because you have nuts and a penis, I say again, nuts and a penis, big, small, short, fat, lumpy, or whatever the case may be, they feel because you have man parts, you automatically are a man. And that's not true. That's not true. In order to be a man, it requires guidance. It requires morals and standards and values. It requires direction. It requires leadership. It requires somebody to take the motherfucking time to teach you what you need to do. No, because if not, then you're just learning trial and error. How many people believe that's true? Ladies, a lot of these men that you're finding on the streets, in churches, at your job, passing by in the grocery store, at the post office, you're bumping into men that have learned how to be men through trial and error, through love and hip hop, through social media posts. A lot of men haven't had a man there to teach them how to be a man. Even more importantly, how to be a gentleman. They're not opening up doors. They're not calling you to see how your day is going. They're not saying, wow, I really noticed your hair today. Wow, what a great smell you have, in reference to your perfume. I really like the fact that you are so professional and smart and articulate. They're not doing those things because they never had anyone to teach them that those things was important. Y'all don't even hear me out there. A lot of people are learning how to be a man through trial and error. So I'm asking myself, especially when I think about certain men, like, I wonder, did these men have role models? I wonder, did these men have the guidance they needed to have a balanced life? Even most importantly, a balanced message when they speak to both men and women. And I find that a lot of men did not have positive role models. Everybody didn't have a football coach, didn't have a pastor, didn't have an uncle that was around. Mom didn't have a reasonable boyfriend coming around teaching valuable lessons. No, the boyfriend gave mom dick and attention. That's what was important. It wasn't important to teach the young son how to tie a tie, how to cut the grass, how to make sure his room was clean, how to fry a fucking egg. It was more important to teach them how to roll a blunt, how to break down goddamn, bricks, for my street people out there. How to get it for the low. How to clean your gun. How to look fly, how to wear chains, how to buy goddamn rims, how to get a sound system. See, some of you guys are under the impression that men come ready-made. Men come ready groomed. They come ready formed. The thought process of men, is so abnormal to some people. Like, they just believe that men should automatically do certain things. And the fact of the matter is, there are not a lot of role models out there. Because despite all the men that I have right here on the screen, there are numerous men out there that every time a man develops a platform, a man reaches a certain status, a man does anything that goes against a certain narrative, he is now under fire. And you better be damn near perfect. Come on, let's talk about Obama for a minute. I'm about to piss somebody off. The president of the United States. I have never, ever heard a president being challenged saying that you need to show your birth certificate. You need to prove that you are a citizen of these United States of America. One of the smartest presidents that we've ever had, at least on paper, at least Ivy League status, and was challenged Well, we got to check your status. We got to check to see if you're a citizen. Man, black man. Come on, you say Kevin Samuels don't have the credentials to give out advice. You say R. Kelly, despite all of his hits, all of the things he sung about, all of the people that he's touched and all this other stuff, whatever, because he's done some shit on his personal time, well, hey, cancel him. Cancel Derrick Jaxn, even though he's empowered hundreds of women, thousands of women. Cancel his ass. Bill Cosby, the godfather of television. Cancel his ass. Quavo, oh, hell no. You yanking motherfuckers in the elevator, oh, hell no. Little Nas X done lost his motherfucking mind riding and humping on the devil. These men ain't shit. I'm about to piss somebody off. That's what I'm hearing. These men ain't shit. Well, I'm kind of confused if these, I just really want to ask, do you think these men had role models? Do you think these men learned how to be men through trial and error? Do you think these men, are living life through life experience? Like, I'm just trying to figure out what you guys think. Well, despite what you think, let me tell you this, that no one comes ready-made. If you want a man that comes ready-made, then you need to build one. No, literally, you need to go somewhere to a damn science convention and build one. I think that people need to understand that men go through hardship just like women. Men get fucked over just like women. Men get abused just like women. Men get disrespected just like women. And it's like, for some reason, people feel like men are supposed to swallow their emotions or swallow the hardship and the turmoil and the trial and tribulation that they face and save face. And save face. When Terry Crews came out and say, hey, I was touched and I was molested, what did people say? What did people say? Oh, he too big to be molested. He must have liked that. So men can't be victims. Men can't be taken advantage of. You think about the Me Too movement. Why is there no Me Too for men? I'm about to hurt some feelings. I'm about to piss somebody off. It's a lot of goddamn movements, but why ain't no Me Too for men? Who had the audacity to sit around and say, we are only going to champion little girls and women? We use that Me Too movement to attack Bill Cosby, to attack R. Kelly, to attack a whole lot of black men. But it's so funny because there were no Me Too movements for young men, for young boys. What message do you think that sends out to communities? Well, if I get raped, if I get molested as a young child, nobody gives a fuck. And these same men grow up with this hardship and this turmoil, this mental anguish, this sense of being victimized. But now when you meet this woman, she's expecting you to be strong. She's expecting you not to have any flaws. She's expecting you to have the mental stamina to keep going, to hold the family together, to take whatever verbal or emotional abuse that she provides and the world provides, because you're a man. How dare you show that you have flaws? What do you mean you was touched as a little boy? I was watching this documentary, and it was of these black young men that were locked up. And they were talking about, how they've been locked up, throughout the whole pandemic, and, how, once they get out, they're going to go back to their gangs because, the gang showed them love. And I started to think, I was like, I wonder, why are there no other role models besides the gangs? Why are there no other role models besides what you see on TV, what you hear through music? Why are there no other role models? I fear for young black men. I fear for them because there's no guidance. There's no guidance. It's like, it's great to have a Me Too movement, but you exclude young men. Can you imagine sitting at a table and saying, yeah, we got all of these cases of these boys being molested, but we're not worrying about that. Fuck them. Let them fend for themselves. Let the men start it. And it's just like, bruh, when you sit down at a table and you talk about being a champion, being a resource, being a positive outlet, being a part of the rehabilitation process for victims. Victims ain't just for women. Victims are not just for girls. But for some reason, we've drawn this line in the sand, even when it comes to our children. I'm about to piss somebody off. Who the fuck you think you are? How do you draw the line in the sand when it comes to, oh, well, if you're a little boy, you need to fend for yourself. Well, here's the thing. Okay, they fend for themselves. They join gangs. They become criminals. They sell drugs. They getting it how they live. And then we all grow up. Now we got criminal records. Now we become George Floyds. Then when we die, guess what happens? Oh, you had a criminal record. We shouldn't mourn you. We shouldn't raise hell for you. We shouldn't protest for you. We shouldn't advocate for you. You are a criminal. Hell, you probably didn't even like black women. I just saw so much shit in the last 2-3 years when it comes to black men. And it's like I'm scratching my head because it's like, damn. I've heard people say, we're not champion for black men anymore. Wow. Eesh. So what happens when black women become the strongest asset to the black race, but black men are not strengthened? Black men are not encouraged. Black men are not gathered up and say, you are important, young man. You are important, young king. What happens? A race of strong fucking females and weak men. So I guess it's going to be a bunch of lesbian shit going on. This is my issue that I had with Derrick Jaxn. This is my issue that I had with Ace Metaphor. Their fucking messages were one-dimensional for a long fucking time. And as long as they encourage women to a state of delusion, that means telling them what they wanted to hear, promoting a degree of deflection that was beyond reproach. You're right. Straighten your crown. He is not worthy. He's not this and he's not that. He's a deadbeat. He's not deserving of you. Black men telling black women how other black men ain't shit. But those same said black men are not doing anything to empower black men, knowing fucking well that in black communities, guess what? Black fathers are not in the home. So when you get a platform, instead of having a balanced message, you decided to say the hell with black men, such as I'm only going to prey on women. I'm only going to stroke their egos and predicate on their promotion, on their emotions, so that way they can give me their hard-earned money. Because guess what? That's what's important. So, ladies and gentlemen, if I find a man that is promoting a balanced message, that is positive, that is telling both men and women, be great. Be powerful, be educated, but be together. Be together. Sit at the table, discuss what's going on. You ain't gonna always agree. Somebody gonna like black, somebody gonna like blue, somebody gonna like purple, somebody gonna like pink. But at the end of the day, give everybody an opportunity to at least give their perspective. The issue is that when you have motherfuckers promoting this individualism, promoting hatred, promoting extremists. That's the problem. People don't want to hear, let's work together. They want to hear, let's be apart. Let's call them dusties. Let's call them homosexuals. Let's call them deadbeats. Let's call them names, and this will empower us. Well, my question, ladies and gentlemen, empower you to do what? Empower you to do what? I've listened to the Cynthia G's. I've listened to the Tanya TKOs. I've listened to the Nosy Hoes. I've listened to a lot of content creators on social media say that men ain't shit. And somebody would counter that and say, well, there's a lot of men who are saying women ain't shit. But my whole thing about it is the hell with all of them. At some point in time, we got to work together. And don't just be online saying the hell with black men, the hell with black women, and then get offline and that's all you deal with. Oh, I was just saying that to make a couple dollars. The hell with you and death to you. That shit is toxic. That's a narcissist. If you're not living what you preach, shut the fuck up. If you hate men, go around, walk around and say, oh, I hate black men. Say it at the post office, say it at church, say it at work. Let everybody know how you feel offline. Don't hide behind those screens. Don't hide in your homes. The same way, if you hate black women, go out into the world, into a public place crowded full of black men and black women and scream at the top of your lungs how you hate X, Y, and Z. And let's see how successful you are. It's a lot of cowards who hang around on social media platforms screaming and hollering. They hate this and they hate that. Everyone's scared to work together because, goddamn, we might get a resolution. We might get some type of solution that says, you know what, black people are not as bad as people think they are. But we promote this narrative. This person ain't shit. That person ain't shit. This person ain't that. This person ain't this. Ladies and gentlemen, there are men out there that are fuck-ups. There are men out there that are abusers. There are men out there that are disrespectful. There are men out there that are criminals. There are men out there that ain't worth your time or your energy. But there are also women out there that are the same or worse. Those are facts. And if we don't acknowledge those facts, I'm talking to the people with the common sense right now. If this ain't resonating with you, get the fuck up out of here. This tough love. This ain't okay love. This ain't should be love. This tough love. And the conversation may be a little crazy on your ears. Especially if you're one of those people that sit around and you promote hatred. I don't give a fuck if it's black on black, black on white, black on Hispanic, black on Oriental. I'm saying hatred. You're equal to the KKK. You're equal to any supremacist organization. Promoting hatred is wrong. Now, if someone does something to you, that's because they're a bad person. Not because they're a white person, not because they're a black person. That's because that individual is fucked up. Some people take the time to promote hatred for others because they hate themselves. Goddamn, y'all hear me? I'm about to piss somebody off. They hate themselves. You can just tell with their delivery. You can tell with their mannerisms. You can just tell at how they talk to people. It's one thing to have a conversation with someone versus talking at someone. It's different. It's a different energy. And in retrospect, you got to think about this, ladies and gentlemen. How many people you know out there are actually trying to pull people together? Let's be real. How many people you know that actually sitting down saying, you know what, man, let's do better. We got so much shit against us right now. Why should we be divided? Why should I look at a black woman because I'm a black man and say, well, she's probably ratchet. She's probably ghetto. I'm going to automatically ordain that you a fuck up. I'm going to automatically ordain that you ain't on my level. You need to level up. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody needs to level up. There's always something you can learn. There's always something you can do to be better. How dare you discredit someone else when your ass need to level up your motherfucking self? I don't care how much money you got. Let me break this shit down. I'm about to piss somebody off. Let me break this shit down for y'all. A person with a lot of money can still have low self-esteem. A woman with a fat ass could have a low credit score. A man with a big dick, right, could be a womanizer. So no matter what you have, you can be lacking in other areas. You fine as fuck on the outside, but ugly as hell on the inside. Materialistic, not self-aware. You don't care about other people's feelings, but the fact of the matter is you don't care about hurting other people's feelings. You pride yourself on it because that's the type of person you are. You promote negativity. You promote hatred. You promote gossip. You promote drama. But you always in that promotion of all that negativity, you always scream, I'm living my best life, y'all. No, you're promoting the worst conditions for life. You're showcasing that you are not a friend, you are a frenemy. You are not a friend, you are a naysayer. You are not a friend, you are an enemy. And this goes out to family and friends. Get y'all ass over here. Supposed to be blood thicker than water. Shut the hell up. Family be the worst ones. Ladies and gentlemen, people will drain your energy. So I always say protect your energy and protect your peace. But when you listening to these messages from people saying men ain't shit and men ain't this and men ain't that, first of all, I want to ask somebody something. Let me ask the Tanya TKOs and the Cynthia G's and the Nosy Hoes, all of these people that promote this narrative. And you can say the same thing for men. Do you have anyone that's positive in your life? That's a positive man. That if you say black men ain't shit, do you know any good black men? If you say black women ain't shit, do you know any good black women? Well, I would say promote those people. I would say with all the negativity and the rhetoric and the energy that you put into saying, I hate. Well, show what you like, show what you love, show what you appreciate. That's balance. Because if you're not balanced, then you're a part of the problem. It's interesting to me that when you find men that say that, I had a troubled past, a frickled past, and I had to overcome a lot of things, that past becomes relevant only when you are speaking against the status quo. Becomes relevant. Let's jump back on this Kevin Samuels shit. He seems to be like a hot topic. And it's so funny that, people are saying, okay, well, hey, Kevin Samuels, in order for you to give advice, I need to see your credentials. Hey, Kevin Samuels, in order for you to give advice, you need to tell me your sexuality. Hey, Kevin Samuels, in order for you to give me advice, I need to know where you work at and what your career functionality was. Were you ever a CEO or did you ever work in a Fortune 500 company? Shut the fuck up. I'm about to piss somebody off. It is funny when you want to see people's credentials. When they don't agree with you. When they're calling you out. When they're telling you fix your shit to level up. To think outside the box, to give you a narrative where, guess what? You're not the prize. You're not the alpha and you're not the omega. You are average at best. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. Now, there is some truth inside rhetoric. There is some truth inside tough conversations. Every message can be useful depending on what you take from that message, ladies and gentlemen. I wouldn't say promote anything negative, not at least not for long periods of time, but I would also say to balance your message out. Find people that promote that balance. Find people that are saying, let's work together. Let's work together. Let's build together. Let's stand together. Let's walk together. Let's fight for one another instead of fighting against each other. That's not a message you hear from a lot of men and women. I don't know if they're just scared. I don't know if because they make so much money at promoting division. I don't know what it is, but I can tell you right now, a lot of men and women do not have role models. They do not have good support systems. They do not have people in their lives saying, shut the fuck up, sit down and listen. What you doing is nonsense. What you doing is counterproductive. What you doing is some fuck boy and fuck girl shit. We don't appreciate it. Slow your roll, punk ass. Yeah, I know it's hard to hear sometimes. I know. I get it. Ladies and gentlemen, the message is really clear. Instead of saying men ain't shit, instead of saying women ain't shit, let's start to find and rebuild a foundation. A foundation where our children can see this generation working together, so that way it promotes the next generation. We always talk about legacy and we talk about generational wealth. Like, we do a good job at throwing good, these words out here that of course mean so much. But again, at the end of the day, we promote so much hate. Everything from reality TV shows to our music, we promote division, we promote sexuality, we promote guns and violence and drugs and, we got to get money. Nobody says, hey, let's have a conversation. Let's work on our love languages. Let's work on actual having communication and dialogue. It's like people are scared if people actually sit down and talk. Well, I heard something about you. Well, okay, let's put everybody in the same room and let's talk. Ladies and gentlemen, protect your peace, protect your energy. If you don't know who this is, you should know what this is. I am Mario J. This is Tough Love. Until next time, man, y'all are dolled up. Be safe. I think I done pissed y'all off enough. Y'all make sure that y'all subscribe. Run over there to Tough Love on YouTube, and make sure y'all subscribe to the main channel and the backup channel, Tough Love 2.0. Hit that bell for notifications so you know that when we're having this tough conversations. My last little tidbit, ladies and gentlemen, would just be simply this. Start treating people right. Start respecting people's time, respecting people's opinions. Your opinion is not the only opinion that matters, but your opinion shouldn't always be negative about people either. Till next time, y'all are dolled up. Peace.
Oh, you motherfuckers. Okay. All right. I'm putting cases on all you bitches. Huh? You think you can do this shit? Jay! You think you can do this to me? You motherfuckers will be playing basketball in Pelican Bay when I get finished with you. Shoot program, nigga. 23-hour lockdown. I'm the man up in this piece. You'll never see the light of it. Go fuck you think you fucking with. I'm the police. I run shit here. You just live here. Yeah, that's right. You better walk away. Go on, walk away, because I'm going to burn this motherfucker down.